Stockton toddler mauled by a dog at a birthday party. Let's get into the story.
Okay, let's get straight to it. There's some concerning news coming out of Hardwick. Stockton on Tees.
Yes, I saw that. Really quite upsetting.
This past Saturday, April 19th, apparently a toddler, just 2 or 3 years old, was mauled by a dog.
At a birthday party, of all places,
Yeah.
witnesses are saying it looked like a Pitbull-cross.
Just awful. The details mention injuries to the head and arm.
That's the report. Thankfully, the latest is that the injuries aren't considered life-threatening.
Well, that's small relief, at least. The child was taken to the University Hospital of North Tees.
Right, and the police, they were on the scene quickly. They managed to secure the dog without harming it, which is good.
Okay, so the dog's safe now.
Yeah, it's been placed in specialist kennels while they, investigate what happened.
Makes sense. They've put out a reference number too, haven't they, for information?
They have, yes. It's 069181. They're asking anyone who saw anything to come forward.
And interestingly, the ambulance service was called, but actually wasn't needed in the end.
Correct. Seems the child was taken to hospital independently, maybe by family. The Northeast Ambulance Service confirmed they were alerted, but didn't need to send resources.
Right. This whole incident, as awful as it is for the family involved,
Yeah.
it does feel like part of a bigger picture, doesn't it?
It really does. We seem to be hearing about these kinds of dangerous dog attacks more and more often across the UK. There's definitely a rising level of concern.
Yeah, the feeling matches the data, unfortunately.
Sadly, yes. There's an interactive map tracking fatal attacks, and it shows 31 deaths since just 2020.
31, that's staggering.
It is, and disturbingly, 2 of those fatalities were just this year, back in February, both linked to XL bully dogs.
I remember those cases. Morgan Dorset, only 19, in Bristol.
Yes, and John McCall, who was 84, in Warrington. Reports from the Dorset case described, a really chaotic scene witnessed by neighbors.
Just terrible. And it's not just the fatal attacks, there's a wider issue.
Exactly. A Freedom of Information request brought some stark numbers to light recently.
What did that show?
Well, in 2024 alone, police forces in England and Wales recorded over 32,500 dog-related offenses.
32,000, wow.
Yeah, and that figure, 32,568 to be precise, was actually a 4% increase from 2023.
So the trend is going up.
It seems so. And digging deeper, some specific areas have reported increases of up to 50% just in the last 4 years.
50%, that's a huge jump. It really paints a picture of a growing problem.
It does. It suggests this isn't just about a few isolated extreme incidents, but a much broader issue with dog control and safety.
So bringing it back to this recent attack in Stockton, while we're obviously hoping the toddler makes a full and fast recovery,
Absolutely.
it really throws a spotlight on the pressure, doesn't it? Both public pressure and governmental pressure to actually do something.
Definitely. To find better ways to tackle this kind of violence, especially when it involves young children who are so vulnerable.
It forces those difficult conversations again about responsible ownership.
About specific breeds, which is always contentious.
And whether the current rules, the current safety protocols are actually working.
Exactly. Are the existing regulations enough? Are they being enforced properly? These are the questions that keep coming up.
So when you look at this incident and you combine it with those, frankly, alarming statistics, what do you think are the most critical things we need to focus on to try and improve safety?
Well, it seems pretty clear there's no single magic bullet. It has to be a multi-pronged approach.
Like what specifically?
I think we need a serious look at making sure existing laws are actually enforced consistently across the board. That seems fundamental.
Okay, enforcement. What else?
Responsible breeding practices are key. Reducing the number of dogs bred with problematic temperaments or in poor conditions.
Right. And public awareness.
Definitely. Education for owners, potential owners, and just the general public on how to interact safely with the dogs, how to recognize warning signs.
That makes sense. And the breed question, it always comes up.
It does. And perhaps there needs to be a continued evidence-based evaluation of measures related to specific breeds that statistically seem to appear more often in these severe incidents. It's sensitive, but needs consideration.
A lot to consider there. Enforcement, breeding, education, and that ongoing breed evaluation. It's complex.
Very complex, and the conversation definitely needs to keep going.
Absolutely. So just as a final thought then, for people listening and thinking about everything we've discussed, the Stockton attack, the wider trends, what's maybe one key question they should mull over themselves regarding this whole issue?
A key question. Perhaps it's this. Beyond regulations and enforcement, what role does community awareness and individual responsibility play in preventing
More and
these
more dog
incidents
attacks
before they
are
even
happening.
happen? How
What's
much
your
rests
thought
on
on this
us as
story?
neighbors and
Comment.
citizens?
Thank
That's a really potent point to end on. Food for thought indeed.